No company is immune from making mistakes, and I think Microsoft made a little bit of a disastrous mistake. And look, listen, I'm not coming down hard on Microsoft. I feel like this is just something that they probably will learn from, and it's a smart thing to learn from your mistakes. Obviously, Microsoft has come a long way since the old Xbox One days and things like that, and I also think that, obviously Microsoft has still a long way to go. Like, people aren't going to trust Microsoft, and maybe for good reason, right? But we'll see what happens long term with this. Again, this is something that I feel like they probably should have known better, but I don't maybe fault them for thinking that this would be the direction that gaming would go. So I want to get into this because it's super interesting. It's really something that I love about Xbox, and also something that I hate about gaming in general. So let's go ahead and get into this. Microsoft sacrificed Xbox Series X sales for their long-term ambition in the cloud, which, again, if you follow me or know me at all, you know how much I loathe cloud gaming. I think it is absolutely utter nonsense. I don't think it'll ever be a big thing. I've been saying this for over 2 decades now, right? Every time there's something that's a cloud gaming initiative, it fails. You need people don't look at video games the same way that they look at entertainment apps like Netflix and things like that. Also, when you have service like centers and things like that that you're kind of connected to, it's like playing on a long connected wired cord, right? So you're never going to get that latency, that response. And people go, oh, well, I've used it and it's okay. That's fine, right? More power to you. If you want to play that way, that's fine. I will never game that way. First of all, I am never close to having internet that would support that, and I even have Starlink, which is the best internet that I've ever had. And even when I average 150 megabits per second down, it's not good. It's terrible. So that's my personal take on it. I was glad when the Google stuff went away, and Luna or whatever it is. But Microsoft has apparently been sacrificing growing its Xbox Series X and S sales numbers since launch as a trade-off for investment in cloud and gaming content. In an internal email exchange between Xbox chief Phil Spencer and CEO Tim Stewart in December of 2020, the pair discussed the reasons behind lower Xbox console volumes, and the email has been revealed as part of the FTC versus Microsoft hearing. Spencer admits that Microsoft had a yield miss for Scarlett, which was the code name for the Xbox Series X console, but it and the delay to Halo Infinite weren't the main factors of the console's scarcity, so people have to kind of keep that in mind as well. During the initial launch period, Microsoft had cut the compute units on its Series X silicon down to 52 from 56 to improve the production yield, but the company still missed a target for hardware production of the console. Microsoft also had a strategic bet on cloud that it appears to have been holding back chips for. But less than a year after the Xbox Series X and X launched, Microsoft had already upgraded its cloud gaming servers with custom Xbox Series X hardware to improve frame rates and load time. So this is very interesting. The some of it is redacted. So basically, this is what it says. So when the questions come up about why don't we have more Xbox consoles right now, there are many factors, but I think we aren't really focusing on the right issue. If we are focusing on the yield miss with Scarlett or the Halo launch date miss, both are execution issues, not ducking those. They are just not the main factors in our console scarcity. Gaming makes sense for Microsoft as the focus to consumers. I can see no other clear consumer category with this where Microsoft has the product truth today with customer demand, and we have in gaming, and we have the disruption that is happening in the business plays to some of Microsoft's long-term strengths, cloud and subs. On capitalizing allocation that we are making in gaming, I believe our investment in content and xCloud are critical to realizing our potential in gaming. Amazon Luna and Google Stadia do not have the console strength we have, giving us developer engagement, giving us community and catalog content. So basically, they were trying to double down on the cloud, people maybe being more attracted to the cloud or whatever, because, obviously they do have that relationship, that catalog. Stadia is long gone. Luna looks like it's gone soon. So anyway, it says, as a team, we're starting to work through our fiscal year 22 plan. I realize that what I'm saying is almost the exact definition of the innovator's dilemma. From a strategy perspective, I believe our trade-offs for cloud and content in gaming over console volume. I would obviously love to invest in all unconstrained, but I completely support the trade-offs we are making. With hardware limitation, with hardware timelines, we can't be as agile on supply when our revenue or aim targets exceed budgets, as we are seeing in fiscal year 21, even without Halo. We're making quarter 2 and quarter 3 decisions to air freight consoles this fiscal year, which will pull some volume forward, given how our P&L is tracking. But this is more of a timing fix than a volume fix. We need to plan our fiscal year 22 hardware volumes now. With our strategy and opportunity, console volume will still be a thing we constrain to grow our long-term ambition. So while we talk about yield as an issue with Xbox Series X and S today, there is some small truth to that. But in reality, if our yield was on plan right now, we'd feel the same constraints in consumer sentiment. We could sell more consoles this year and next year. There is demand. I'm happy to go deeper with the P&L investments if there is desire. I realize there are a ton of decisions on this. COVID-19 impacts on gaming release dates, Xbox Game Pass content investments, etc. I believe in the trade-offs we are making for our long-term goals, but our near to mid-term consumer engagement and console unit trade-offs. I just want to ensure that those are aligned. So the email exchange references the trade-off on spending money on Xbox console volume or console or content and cloud bets. From a strategy perspective, I believe in our trade-offs with our strategy and opportunity. Console volume will be the thing we constrain to grow our long-term ambition. Microsoft has had to invest money into building out its cloud infrastructure for cloud gaming, particularly as it's based on custom console components. I believe our investments in content and xCloud are critical in realizing our potential in gaming. Microsoft is also working on a separate dedicated version of Xbox Cloud Gaming last year, but that dedicated xCloud SKU isn't necessarily launching anytime soon. And in testimony during the FTC versus Microsoft hearing, Sarah Bond, head of Xbox Creator Experience, said Microsoft was more clear on the costs related to xCloud Gaming and the popularity of the service, so a dedicated version wasn't currently being worked on. Microsoft also originally announced a dedicated its cloud streaming device in 21, before confirming it was making changes to the device in 22. Project Keystone, as Microsoft referred to it internally, was then spotted on Xbox Chief's shelf in October, before finally being confirmed that it's being reworked. Again, so Microsoft put a little bit more of a bet on cloud gaming and things like that, due to the fact that, you know, you want to be ahead of the curve with these things, right? And I think that that is a very smart thing to kind of do. You know, hey, we're ahead of the curve, we're doing this, we're doing that, we want to be there if cloud, you know, picks up or whatever. But at the same time, when you launch a new console, you need to be all in on that. Like, you should have been able, you know, if you could have had 5 more million units sold of your console right now, to be quite honest with you, that's 5 more million units, to me anyway, that you're closer to Sony, you know, that maybe you could get better deals for like the content and stuff like that you're looking to get. You know, the fact of the matter is, and I've kind of gone over this numerous times, I feel like one of the things that is happening to Microsoft is that they don't have necessarily the you know, the easiness of the easeability of getting some of these platforms, some of these exclusives and things that Sony does, because their console is lagging behind in sales. They don't announce sales. It's just, honestly, it's one of those things. And to be honest with you, it's really, really kind of a sad situation, to be quite clear about it, you know. And you know, I hope that this is something that they kind of you know, get out there before too long. Like, I want to see Microsoft do great things, but again, this is something that I think we're going to have to wait and see exactly what can be done, you know. And honestly, Microsoft still has those gamers that they're going to have to kind of convince. And with this whole gaming thing that they went after with the cloud, I feel like that was maybe kind of a foolish thing to do. And hindsight is 2020, however. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I appreciate the feedback. If you could let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you guys want to see on the channel? I'll be happy to kind of do some of those things if you can come up with some good ideas. Thank you so much for checking out one of my videos. I hope you have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.